Hello, my name is Chrissy, and I would like to thank you for watching this presentation on Mastering Your Graphic Design Resume, a Guide to Effective Presentation. Before we get started, we want to let you know that your experience here at Southern New Hampshire University is important to us. It is our policy and our practice to create an inclusive and accessible learning environment. If there are aspects of this presentation's design or delivery that present barriers to accessibility, please notify the following. For online students, you may reach Online Accessibility Center by emailing oac@snhu.edu or by calling 866-305-9430. For campus students, you may reach the Campus Accessibility Center by emailing cac@snhu.edu or by calling 603-644-3118. SNHU staff and faculty may reach the Human Resources Office by emailing hr@snhu.edu. As you complete your graphic designed resume for your class, it is important that you know when and where to use your beautifully designed resume so that you can position yourself for success. Along with your graphic design resume, you will want to have an ATS-friendly resume to elevate your chances of getting an interview. When you submit your resume with an online application, it is important that you understand ATS. What is an ATS? ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. It is a software application for recruiters and employers to track and manage candidates throughout the recruiting and hiring process. ATS is designed to automate and streamline the initial screening of job applicants by allowing recruiters and hiring managers to quickly and efficiently filter through larger volumes of resumes. The system scans resumes for keywords, skills, and qualifications that match the requirement of the job description and may rank the most qualified candidates based how closely their resumes match the job requirements. This saves the company time and resources during the hiring process. It is important for career seekers to understand how the ATS works and optimize their resume to increase one's chances of passing the initial screening and being invited for a job interview. To understand why this is important, let's first take a look at a statistic. In order to understand why this is relevant, it is important to understand how many companies use an ATS. According to JobScan, over 98.8% of Fortune 500 companies use ATS, while 66% of large companies and 35% of small organizations rely on them. With hundreds of ATS software options available on the market, employers may employ them in various ways. However, less sophisticated ATS may face challenges in accurately interpreting resume data if the resume is not formatted in a way that is ATS friendly. This will potentially result in errors. To gain a comprehensive understanding of how this scenario can unfold with an ATS, let's explore what may transpire on the recruiter's end when you submit your visually appealing graphic resume. Let's take a look at the resume to the left, where you have a beautifully designed graphic resume. Everything on the resume is easy to read, nicely organized, and presented well. Now let's look at how your resume could potentially populate on the recruiter side in a less sophisticated ATS. As you can see, your data could become truncated by the ATS, where it adds in characters and jumbles your information in your resume, making your resume look like this to the recruiter. Rather than seeing your design, your resume will look unrecognizable. Some ATS have the option to automatically reject a candidate when this happens, and others, when the recruiter sees this, will weed a candidate out as they may have high applicant pools and other responsibilities they must attend to. They may not have time to try to download and interpret the data. For this reason, it is important that you also have an ATS-friendly resume. Let's look at an example of an ATS-friendly resume. On the right, you can see an example of an ATS-friendly resume, which will parse the data correctly. Some ATS systems will show us a percentage match to the position. The higher the keyword match, the higher the possible percentage, leading to the possibility that you could be invited for an interview. In other ATS, employers will review every resume regardless. Unfortunately, you may not know which ones use percentage and which ones don't. Some simple guidelines for an ATS are: to keep it simple, Keep your format simple, avoiding a lot of design elements, as this can cause errors in the ATS. Keeping it simple is not only going to help the ATS scan your resume, but it will also help the employer see your qualifications quickly. Use simple fonts like Arial, Times New Roman, Calibri, and a standard 10 to 12 point font. Using uncommon or decorative fonts can be harder for ATS to read and can result in errors or omissions during the parsing process. Avoid headers, footers, templates, fancy fonts, font colors, tables, columns, and boxes. Optimize keywords and content. It is important to include some keywords from the job description. Content on your resume should show the impact you had in your previous work history rather than a list of job duties. Be strategic about marketing your unique skill set. It is important to note that you need to impress the bots and the humans. So where do you use your design resume? The best place to use your design resume is with the graphic design companies, as that is what they do. They are more likely to recognize design resumes, as they can even be a red flag to a company to not use a design resume. Though this may be the case in most circumstances, it is always a good idea to check with a company to make sure, as you still do not know what kind of ATS software that they use. You also need to make sure that your design on your resume does not take away from the content. Your content needs to be just as unique as your design. The content always needs to be excellent and focused on your skills, abilities, and accomplishments. In addition to that, text needs to be readable and accessible. Be strategic as you apply for jobs and think about and research your audience before you hit send. This is also a great time to network before applying for a role, so you get your information directly in the hands of a contact at the company. The perfect place to use your design resume is when you are in person. This is the time to not only showcase your design skills, but also your communication skills and how you present yourself. An additional way that you can utilize your design resume is by posting it on your LinkedIn profile to showcase it in a professional virtual space. You also may use your design resume by uploading it to your ePortfolio. This can be a great place, as all of your work and designs will be there. By including it, you are providing the employer the convenience of having your resume with your work history in one place. The question now becomes, should I always use an ATS resume when submitting an online application? The answer to this question is contingent on various factors. While many resources advocate for always using an ATS resume, this advice may not be crystal clear, especially for those individuals in design fields. The appropriateness of an ATS resume versus a visually appealing graphic resume varies depending on the employer and the specific company that you are applying to. ATS software comes in more than 100 different options, and recruiters and hiring managers may utilize the ATS in multiple ways. Each company's approach to using ATS can differ, making it challenging to discern without direct communication with a recruiter or hiring manager. So how can you approach this situation effectively? Be prepared by having both an ATS optimized resume and a graphically designed resume at your disposal. Reach out to the employer for clarification. This approach not only demonstrates your interest, but also showcases your skills. You can find contact information through platforms like Handshake or LinkedIn. If reaching the company directly proves difficult, it might be prudent to use your ATS resume, as it will go through their system. However, ensure that your portfolio link and LinkedIn URL are included on your resume to highlight your design expertise. Graphic design oriented companies might possess more sophisticated ATS systems capable of understanding design elements, but there are no guarantees. Keep in mind that graphic design roles also can exist in non-graphic design companies, where some ATS software may not comprehend design elements. Asking the employer directly is the best way to find out. Having both an ATS optimized and a visually appealing design resume will prepare you for whatever type of application the employer prefers. Having the right size font, having the right format, and other resume writing guidelines can be sometimes downright confusing. SNHU launched an excellent tool to help make this process easier for you in putting together an ATS-friendly resume. This tool is called Skills First. Skills First is an innovative tool designed to simplify the process of creating an ATS-friendly resume. With the aid of AI technology, Skills First assists you in building and formatting your resume, ensuring it will effectively showcase your skills and qualifications. You can access Skills First through Brightspace or My SNHU. For any assistance with navigating the site or crafting your resume, please call Career Services at 888-672-1458 or email cocecareer@snhu.edu. From SNHU Career, my name is Chrissy. Thank you for watching.